Where are we looking at funds? We've already over doubled our funds, and we're actually almost at 2,000. So, very happy about that. What's our next job? We can't work on the DeLorean yet, and we got a new one that has a weird experience requirement for some reason. But this car looks really neat. I kind of actually really like this. It's again that kind of low profile. Just really slick looking. Wonder if that's a real car. All right, Reno Piccolo, whatever. Let's replace your oil. That job took longer. That last job took longer than all the other jobs combined, I think. Although, no, that's not true. Ugly. 5 things wrong. And then we also have to change the oil filter and the oil. Repair all engine faults. Okay, well, let's get you on the lifter and start taking a look. Though, yeah, here's what we're going to do. Let's go get over here. For some reason on the other side of the garage, and whoever was using it last made a huge mess. This is what's called the oil drain. And so this is where we want to drain the oil in because we don't want to spill like the last person who worked here. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to tell whether you're lined up with that dot right there. That's the oil drain. Or the oil, where the oil comes out of. So you just have to sort of like line it up. And the way I do it is I get sort of lined up in one axis, and I look directly up and just move it forward until the drain is about there. So in the center of the screen, kind of close to the top, but not quite there. And you can sort of see that that is about lined up. Yeah. And so I am going to just hope for the best here. Yep, we got it. I've never spilled oil before. But you also saw that oil was disgusting. So it's good we got that out of the car. It's just good to do that now because if something is wrong with the engine and we need to take off the oil pan. Well, hold up. Let's just take a visual look at this, and we can see that the actual engine block is disgusting. Can I just inspect that? I have the car. It's too. I'm not tall enough. I'm 5'8". I don't consider myself a short king. I'd actually honestly rather be shorter. All right, well, that part's fine. We're going to have, if the throttle is bad, I can just visually see that. If we have to replace the entire engine block, we're just going to have to take the whole thing apart anyway. So let's just, like, do it. We're not going to be able to inspect it visually, so we just have to start taking pieces off. Oh, not yet. This serpentine belt first, then this serpentine belt, this idle roller, and this other part. The oil pan also looks kind of bad, so these are parts that we just... I'm actually kind of excited. I never got a job like this the last time I played expert mode where I had to replace the engine block until like after I'd unlocked parking, which was at 9,000 experience. So I was already doing body work at that point. This is the alternator. That's what charges the battery. That part I do know. Alright, we're going to take this, the timing parts out. Okay. We're going to need to take the... don't zoom in that far. I'm getting the radiator out of here because it's just going to be in my way. Have we even found... Okay. One of the serpentine belts was bad. So, that's something. This part looks fine, but it's got to go. Oh, if we're taking the engine belt off, we're going to have to take the whole transmission off, which means that both the front tires are going to have to come off. That's a hassle. Wow. And unfortunately, in this world, you can't just like buy a whole new engine. You have to buy each of the component parts. Down here. Okay. Exhaust. Oh, we gotta take the intake stuff off. Missed that one. The fuel filter is another thing that looks to be bad. The fuel rail, bad. Nope. Excuse me? Oh. Ignition coils. But that ignition coil actually looked kind of bad. Yeah. So we found all the parts now. Watch the engine block actually not be that bad. It just looks grody. Rusty. Yeah. Okay. Because we'll take out... Well, we can take these out. Find the one pixel that lets us take out the spark plug. Alright, take the engine head off. Where was it? Okay. I think that's all we can do for now. Now we need to lift up the car. Alright, both these tires got to come off. I don't think the brakes need, or yeah, the brake system doesn't need to come off, but this piece does. That connects to the drive shaft, and that's why, yeah, in order to get the transmission off, we have to take the drive shaft out, which means we need to remove both the front tires. This part of the song's kind of haunting. I always thought I liked the front half of the album, or the soundtrack, better, but the back half is still pretty good. Alright, where are all the bolts on this one? A bunch of them are underneath. Okay. Now, when you have to do transmission repair, a lot of these parts are actually worth a lot of money. Alright. Yeah, this song in particular sounds like something you would hear on like a rainy day. This is why we had to remove the oil, because otherwise we would be just dumping it all over ourselves. Okay, and we want to take out these bits here, which is just going to continue to zoom us. Just take this exhaust pipe off, just because it's in my way. We don't need to, but I don't want it there. Okay, removing these will allow us to be able to remove the pistons. And then so this is what's annoying, is that we have to lower the car, and then we'll have to raise it back up again, and then lower it again, in order to get the engine block out. Alright. Okay, up again. Because we gotta get this this bit out. And now, because again, if we look at the job, we still have not found the last part, which tells us that definitely it is the engine block. This job already has taken 10 minutes. And it just pops right out, and it tells us, yes, engine block I4. So we've got all the parts we need to replace because we have the whole engine in our inventory. Okay. Well, let's just start doing some searching, huh? I4. This is $1,600 for the engine block. This is a hugely expensive job. We might not even, if this was the first job we got, we might not have even had enough money to be able to do it. What was the other I4 thing we had? The throttle. Throttle T comes down here. Yeah, because we had $4,400. If we drop below, actually, yeah, with the other two parts, or the other three parts I need to buy, fuel filter, ignition coil, and serpentine belt. Ignition coil, and which serpentine belt? B. Serpentine belt B with no special gimmicks. Yeah, I don't think we would have had enough money actually to be able to do this job if this was the first job we got. All right, well, let's just start putting stuff back in, huh? Now that's a nice looking engine block, if I do say so myself, which is how I say things. It's a joke I've been saying for 10 years now. I feel almost bad sticking all these rusty bits back onto this car. I think the rest, other than the exhaust stuff and the radiator, I think the rest I have to be underneath where we gotta go. Put the this part in. The crankshaft, yeah. Crankshaft bearing cap, okay. We'll put the worst one on in the middle, I think. Okay, I guess we'll put that on. Fine, whatever. So just be spectral there. And we'll go ahead and put the oil filter on while we're down here. And we can put on the transmission parts again. We got the flywheel, which is the part that's spiky. We've got the clutch plate, the clutch pressure plate. Seems a little bit weird to be screwing this part on, since it doesn't feel like the other parts would really have a lot of mobility. The clutch release bearing, and we'll go ahead and put the gearbox back on. The gearbox is another part that's insanely expensive. Put the front drive shaft back in, and we'll put these drive axles. We'll go ahead and put the driver's side one here, but then the driver's side gets the worst rim. It's just how it goes. They never make you, oh, wrong side. They never let you put on a part unless, or if there's a dependency. So there's no way like us putting the tires back on. That means that there's no parts of the engine that require the tires to be off. Or no further parts now that we've got the drive shaft back in. Okay. I think that's all we can do on the underside for now until we get the pistons back in. So let's do that then. We're going to put the best one over here, and the second best one is going to go over here, with the third best one here, and then the worst one here. Great. And we'll go ahead and put the engine head back on. It's just a real shame that we're putting this, rusty engine head on top of just a beautiful new engine block. I'm surprised it let us put in the fuel filter since it just seemed to be sort of hovering there. But, if that's what it wants, or if that's what it says is okay to do, then we'll let it do it. We are just the simulator. Wait, we had 2,000 experience, didn't we? Like, we could have gotten an upgrade before we did this job. Whatever. Okay. And throttle. Brand new throttle. I think the last thing we'll put on is the... Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I said this is not an oil change shop, and because we had to take the oil pan out to replace the engine block, that does not count as an oil change, because it's something we would have had to do anyway. So, I'm actually going to take this out because it's easier to put the spark plugs in if we don't have the engine head cover in, and it's easier if like the camera agrees with us. It doesn't always. All right, you're getting the good spark plug. And right there. And when I put the ignition coils in, we'll put them in the reverse order. Some title music here, title screen music. All right. Oh, I guess we needed a new ignition coil. The new ignition coil was supposed to go there. Ooh, 0%. That was straight up fully broken. I'm surprised they were able to drive this car in here. Probably because there was 3 other working ignition coils. Okay. Water pump. Idle roller, A. Crankshaft pulley. Serpentine belt, B. Good. Belt tensioner. Get real tense. But not me. I need to actually loosen up. Alright, that's all those parts. I think now we can put the radiator back in. I should only have the oil pan left, I think. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and lift the car back up, get the oil pan back in, and then fill her up. And then we'll be done with this job. I'm sure the commentary was thrilling. But it's Let's Play in 2023. What do you expect? This is a streaming world where sometimes streamers will just not say anything for half an hour at a time. All right. Bring it back down. Check our inventory. I'd like to try to replace this engine block, but I'm not. The next upgrade I'm going to get is not the repair, so I'm just going to sell it all. And then we will just go ahead and fill up this oil right here. 10W30. Don't know what that means. Okay, and we'll clean that up. That's about $50 worth of oil, so. Okay, this car should be good to go. We have replaced all the engine, or repaired all the engine faults. We've replaced the oil and the filter. I don't... Oh, you know what this does? Is actually if you star it and then look in the car, it actually highlights the part. That's good. I never do that, but good to know. We're losing $1 again because of terrible rounding. But we are going to make almost $2,000 worth of profit on this job. So, yeah. Okay, so we could have afforded this job just barely. $19.20 and then $50 for the oil. So, if we had spilled the oil, then we would not have been able to afford it. Still, though. Good.